I'm on my period, so I guess everyone should seek shelter because everyone will rue this day.
What up, you little fuck?
Okay, guys, I'm doing something really fucking stupid right now. We have an emergency debrief situation. Hi, this is Hallie from the streets of New York. Guys, I had every intention of staying in last night. Hi, sexies. Everyone, welcome back to Extra Dirty. Before I start this episode, I need to go over how fucking ugly and Bitiana I looked in last week's episode, guys. This is my first time in this studio, the first time with this lighting, and also this couch has very sharp angles to it. So I honestly didn't know what I looked like, and I looked back at the footage from last week, and oh my God, I wish production had stopped me. It looked like I had my pants bunched up like this. Everything was tucked under my sweater. I thought I was going for the cute cozy look, like a little sultry, oh, she's very cozy in the couch. She's marinating in the couch. No, it looked like I fucking had a 12-inch erect penis. You would have thought I shoved one of these unwells under my fucking sweater. That's what it looked like. It was absurd. It looked like I had a boner the whole time and I was super excited to be podcasting, which I was, but not that excited, what? Anyways, I'm sick, as you can probably tell from my super seductive and sexy voice that I have going on right now. I started off the week with 102 fever. I feel like maybe my lifestyle is finally starting to catch up with me just a touch. I literally have look what's in my pockets right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna vocalize it for people that aren't watching it, but I have a thermometer just in case a fever spikes. I have a pack of cigarettes just in case I forget that I have a fever. I think this is a popper. Oh my God, are these poppers? I have a lighter for the cigarettes. Wait, I'm dead that I have poppers in my pocket. I didn't even know. And then, okay, so this is probably why I have a fucking cold. It's because all these things combined, my pocket, don't make sense to me at all. But, wait, the poppers really threw me off. I haven't worn this coat in a little bit. But yeah, I'm fucking sick. What else can I catch you up on? I'm on my period, so I guess everyone should seek shelter because everyone will rue this day. If a gust of wind comes at me strange, I flip it off. That's how I'm feeling today. I'm getting laid regularly right now, but I still hate men. My opinion on men has not changed. Honestly, if anything, it's been extremely solidified. Everyone still pisses me off. All these men want, they just want a fucking blowjob. That's all they want. What happened to hi, how are you? Or let's go out to dinner. Or let's go on a date. Or let's see you in the light of day. They're just give me head again. I get it. It's a beautiful sucky McGee. But there's more to me than just my sucky McGees. There's more to me, okay? Let's do a quick little throwback dating story now that I'm on the topic of dating and how much it fucking sucks in New York City. Let's start there. It was probably 5 years ago when I first moved to New York. And when you first moved to New York as a girl, you think that you're fucking Carrie Bradshaw and you think that you should just be dating. You think you should be dating everyone and just saying yes. And oh my God, life is so beautiful. And Mr. Big is going to sweep you off your feet and you're just going to ride off into the sunset. You're going to experience heartache. You're going to experience breakups. You're going to experience situationships. You're going to experience chlamydia. All is true. But, it's not as romanticized as you see, in the Sex and the City. It's, a lot fucking shittier. I can barely get a guy to ask me out. I like I said in the last episode, men fucking are scared. They're scared of pussy these days. I don't know what's going on. The species is dying, in my opinion. But, sorry, that was just a random tangent on men. Let's go back to this dating story. So, I thought that, you were supposed to just, say yes to dating. And dating, as you guys know, it's a fucking hobby. It's a sport. It's like a plant you have to water. You have to give it attention. People really fucking put their whole back into dating, in my opinion. And I really don't have time for it. My lifestyle is not conducive with romantic partnerships right now. So it was one night, it was a Friday night. We went to this kid's birthday celebration. He rented out a bar or whatever. And I went with some girlfriends and everyone was partying. Someone offered me a bump and I don't say no to much. Definitely not saying no to a bump. But I did not know the bump was pink, and I thought that was only a Miami thing. So it ended up being 2CB, and everyone's vibing. You know, the house music is going, and the vibes are flowing, and this fucking random ass kid who I guess hit it off with was giving me attention. And one thing about me is I fucking like attention. And he ended up asking me out on a date. We exchanged phone numbers, and he followed up the next day. And when I saw the text the next day, usually my like gut reaction to a guy asking me out would be like now in today's age would be absolutely the fuck not. Like I have to like really know you in person if I'm saying yes to a date. I don't say yes to dates. Like I need to hook up with you a few times before I say yes to a date. But that's like a whole other issue. We'll get to that later. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm fresh in New York City. I should be saying yes to going on dates. So we set a time, we meet up at like the fucking Gansevoort or something. And I see this fucking troll looking ass man in the lobby of the building. And I said, there is no way. I don't know what Lucifer ass potion 2CB has it that made me just see rainbows and butterflies and like whatever. This man was not in the slightest my type. He looked like kind of like asparagus. I don't know. And just like nothing about him was my type. He looked shy and not outgoing. He wasn't funny. We go up to the top. Like I was about to like turn around and say goodbye. I don't know like what got into me to say yes, but like I would feel so bad standing someone up on a date. That's really not my style. I wish it was, but like I have like guilt and shame and anxiety. I would never want someone to do that to me. So I ended up going through with the date, and I was like, you know what? Maybe he has a good personality. Like maybe we'll just give it a go. No, there was nothing about this date that went smoothly. It was like a very tumultuous. It was like turbulence. If a date was like a turbulent plane ride, that was the whole thing. Nothing was smooth about this date. We get up to the roof. He orders like a magnum bottle of champagne, and I haven't eaten anything yet. So I got fucking cross-eyed and lit. And like the conversation was horrible. I'm cross-eyed at this point. I'm starving. You can barely find my waist. And this man, all he's fed me is fucking champagne. And I get the gesture. He was trying to like look like a baller, but this kid was like, what, 22 probably, and like was probably just trying to impress me with a bottle of champagne. But like, I need to eat something, please. And then the conversation, like we had nothing in common, and he wasn't funny. And as you guys know, being funny is so important to me. If you're not funny, like I hate you. Like I would rather you be ugly and funny than the other way around. So then he wanted to like continue the night, and I don't know how to say no. It's like one of my biggest flaws. I do not know how to say no. I'm working on it. I've worked on it in therapy. Saying no just doesn't roll off the tongue naturally to me. And so he brings me to like the fucking Spaniard after, which if you guys don't know what the Spaniard is, it's just like a dive bar in New York. It's like the least romantic place probably in New York City. Like I would rather like I think giving a girl like a tour of like a graveyard would be more romantic than bringing me into the Spaniard. And then he leans in for a kiss at the end of the night, and that's always awkward. And also like, as you know, like I can't say no, so like it was an awkward like dodge, and I leaned back, and then he sprinted down the street, and he was never to be heard from again. I think we both knew it was just like a atrocious date. And since then, I've never romanticized dating again. And I've never romanticized New York City. And I've never had a real, Carrie Bradshaw moment after that. I went straight to Samantha Jones route after that. I went straight to Samantha Jones. I'm not really a big dater. It's not really my thing. I travel a lot. And like I said a million times at this point, guys don't ask me on dates because I think they're scared I'm going to bite their head off, which is usually probably the case. I feel like dating in general is something you really have to, make time for. Like anything else that you prioritize, you have to make time for it. It's not really on my top priority list. I also don't have that much time, I guess, right now. I'm busier than I've ever been in my life. I remember months and months and months ago, I double booked which I feel like is common in New York City. Sometimes you got to double book. You have one date and then you have a following date. I think the guy I like the most would be the second date. For me, that was the case. Like, I had been talking to this guy for a while and he was planning on staying with me. But I had really liked this guy, and I do this thing when I like someone where I put all my eggs in one basket, and I was really trying to fucking fight the like putting all my eggs in one basket so I wouldn't get hurt kind of thing. But it turns out that like if I like someone, I'm literally just hooking up with that person. I wish it wasn't the case because I probably would save myself from like getting my feelings hurt when it's not necessary, but you know, I can't change me. But anyways, I liked this guy and he was planning on staying at my apartment. And I was really excited, but I was like, fuck, I can't like this guy too much because he did have a lot of fucking red flags. So what I did is I double booked and I went on a date with this guy who is the sweetest man ever. He had been begging and begging, so persistent on asking me out. And I kept like pushing it off. But I was like, wait, this is the perfect opportunity to like spread my eggs a little bit into different baskets. Give this guy a shot. Maybe we'll hit it off. So I accepted the date. But like, this date was at like 6 p.m. It was like a cocktail-ish that kind of ran late. And then I knew that later that night, this guy from fucking wherever was landing and staying at my apartment. So I kind of felt bad for the first guy, but he, you know, what he doesn't know won't kill him. You know, ignorance is bliss in this situation. But it did get kind of awkward because I was continuously checking my phone. This man was like, I'm landing. What's your apartment number? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be there in 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, fuck. This other guy is trying to order more and more drinks, wants to go do like a final espresso martini liquid dessert situation somewhere else. And I had to figure out like an excuse. I think I said that I had like a job interview the next day. And like, I don't know, that's probably the last thing I should have said to get out this date because one, I'm an influencer. What does that even mean? And two, like, it was a Saturday. So nothing made sense. It was like the worst excuse in that given situation. I think the guy was picking up on the fact that maybe I was just not interested, which wasn't the case. I liked the guy and I was kind of interested. I just like wanted to sleep with the other guy more and he was like on his way Ubering to my apartment. But I feel like that's not a unique experience. I feel like people double book in New York City all the time and it's not just women doing it. I bet men do it a lot more. But yeah, like I said, dating seems to be not my horizon right now. But I don't like seek out the dating lifestyle. I'm sure if I really got into it, if I'd hinge, and, you know, I put my full fucking pussy into dating, I could probably swing a date. I just think that for right now, you know, I'm like never in the same place for more than 4 days at a time, it feels like right now. And I'm just busy, you know, just doing me. But I always feel like men will just come to me, like they'll just fall in my lap and the stars will somehow align and that fate will just be on my side. But as I'm getting older, I feel like I will have to like make a conscious effort to take part in dating as a thing and as like almost like a sport, like an extracurricular activity. Like I gotta give it some attention at some point. I don't think right now is the time, but like, who knows? I could meet the love of my life tomorrow. Or maybe I already know him. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's where I am with dating right now. And that's what dating pretty much looks like in New York, I think. Unless you can prove me wrong. I mean, if anyone has a great dating life, please write into the show. And I want to hear about it. I want you on the show. I want to hear about your superb dating life. I want to hear about girls that are going on dates multiple times a week. I want to, like, how do you have, like, my ADHD could never. Also, where are you finding these men? I look around, I see no talent. There's none. I talked about this last week on the pod with Liv. I look around these dive bars, which is apparently where you're supposed to find the men, that and like sporting events. But there's only so much dribble and swing, you know, throw that I can fucking fake before I get sick of the shit. Okay? Can they come to the members clubs? I thought they would be at the members clubs. You think these rich men would be like flying amok, but I don't know who's single. Approach me. I'm not a fucking mind reader. These men just think we can read their minds and read their boners. I can't do any of that shit. You have to come say hi and stop being a fucking weird freak pussy. Sorry, I got emotional with that one. Apparently you're supposed to meet like the love of your life in your late 20s. I don't know what fucking doctor, scientist, or fucking person discovered that. I think that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. And this is why I go after older guys, is because I don't think men have the EQ that we have at the same age. They're 7 years behind us. So if you're 27 years old and you're hooking up with a 27-year-old man, they're 20 years old mentally, emotionally. They're only physically your age. Literally, they're only physically your age. And that's about fucking it. Like, you're not going to talk to a guy your age and be like, yeah, you get it. It's very, very fucking rare. And that's why a little bit of an age gap will be better for you in more ways than one. Like, you'll get treated better. They're better in bed. They check a lot of boxes that guys our age do not check. Okay? I think a lot of people that think they've met the one they're going to marry, the ones in long-term relationships right now, the ones that just got married, maybe call me a pessimist. I think I'm a fucking realist. Most of those people will be divorced by the age of 40, and then they're gonna be like, damn, I wish I was 28 and still hot and didn't settle for some fucking limp dick ass pussy bitch just because I thought I should. But that's just like my thought on that. Also, I'm not like one that's like, oh my God, I'm not like a hopeless romantic. I'm just like fucking hopeless, I guess, at this point. I just like I see a situation and the situation around me in the dating situation in New York. I see people's dynamics and I just read it at face value. I'm really good at that. That's why I'm not a patient person. My romantic life is one aspect of my life that I will, without a doubt, always be patient with, because I do not want to look back years and years and be like, damn, I wasted time and energy on a man that like wasn't fucking shit. Like, I don't want to have any regrets when it comes to like fucking men. Imagine like having a regret over a man. That's disgusting. Everyone needs to pull it together. Okay? My last thing on dates is, if you were to ask me on a date, which, by the way, I'm looking at every camera right here. If you want to ask me out on a date, I'm open to it. I'm not against it, but you have to be hot and funny and not a fucking weird little pussy freak, okay? Maybe a little bit of a freak, but not a pussy freak, okay? And this is what my ideal first date would look like. Like, I don't need the flowers. I don't need you to call me an Uber. I have my dad's credit card for that. I don't need any of that shit. This is what I do need, though. I say, ideally, a date would be in the evening. I don't believe in coffee dates. I don't want to see you in the light. I need to have a slight buzz going. If I don't have a slight buzz going, like, how do I know if we're going to, like, get along? That could be fucked up to say. It may be a little alarming. That could be a red flag of mine. But, like, I need to, like, have, a little bit of a jag going. And, like, the vibes need to be, like, rolling off the tongue, you know, like, a little giggle. Like, I need to have a little flush on the skin. And also, I need to know if I want to fuck you or not. Like, if I don't know that off the first date, then I probably don't want to fuck you. And I don't have any interest on going on a second date. I think a perfect first date, you would be getting cocktails. I don't need food. Well, I need food, but I don't want to eat on a first date, especially like anything handheld. Like, maybe do like apps, but like I don't want to be fucking ripping, like hunking down like a hamburger or anything like that. And then just like do like a couple drinks, dim lighting, candles, romantic environment, not too romantic, nothing like cheesy or forced, but you know, anything like kind of like a hole in a wall, like a boutique, like like not Italian restaurant, but because I don't want food, but like, what am I trying to say? Like, I want to say a members club, but that's like not relatable at all. Because ideally, I would love to just like go to like Zero Bond or Chez Margot and just like sit in the corner and have a couple drinks. But I'm trying to think, just like I'm like a hole in the wall place where you can get drinks and then maybe like share a kiss at the end of the night. I don't really have a strong stance on sleeping with the guy on the first date, I don't think you should have rules around that at all. If it doesn't feel right, I would say don't do it. Like, I wouldn't like force it and be like, oh, like, I don't know if I want to sleep with you, but then like try to make it happen. I wouldn't do that. But if you guys are handsy, hot and heavy, like can't keep your hands off each other the whole night, and like the only other option is like fuck at the end of the night, like don't stop yourself just because you're like not supposed to sleep with someone on the first date. Like, I had anal on a first date once, and I don't regret a damn thing about that. I would do it again. It slipped. I don't know. It just happened. And honestly, it was because we were hot and heavy the whole night. Like, it just happens sometimes. But I don't believe in like, oh, you should wait to the third date. Like, you should wait till like, you know, the seventh moon of the third date, and it has to be like the wind has to be like the tide, and like you have to be a Taurus and a Libra. I don't believe in any of that fucking bullshit. If you want to fuck. If you don't want to fuck, go to bed. That's about it. But yeah, that would be my ideal first date. Ideally, they would text me when I got home, if that's the route I took. Or they would text me if I got home safely the next morning after they sent me home in an Uber from their apartment. If I'm not getting a text the next day after I hook up with a guy, they can go fuck themselves. Like, I don't understand that. What am I, a fucking flashlight with a beating heart? I have feelings too. Like, hi, how are you? Like, maybe check if I have a UTI or not because we just had sex 19 million times? What about that? These men. But yeah, a text would suffice. And my whole thought on, like, if you don't hit it off on a first date, like, do you ghost or are you just super transparent? I've had it both ways. I've hooked up with a guy. I stayed at his place for a full week, and then I landed back in New York City, and I was slammed with a, hey, I don't think we're meant to be. We're not compatible. And I thought we had hit it off. Like, I thought we were like in simpatico. I thought we had kikied like so fucking hard. And this man hit me with like this is not going to work. I never replied to the text, but I will say there was something about like that just like closed the chapter, and it was easier to get over. Like, yes, for a week I was like kind of like, you know, my ego is a bit bruised, but you know, bruises heal, and it was like quick and easy, and like I got over it. The ghosting situation, kind of, you know, I get it, and I've done it to guys plenty of times, but I do think that it kind of like leaves things like open-ended. But the thing is, like, who the fuck cares? If you want to leave it open-ended, whatever, you're eventually gonna get over that too. So if you want to ghost. If you don't want to ghost and you want to be a fucking dick for a second, yeah, you can do that too. But yeah, that is dating, I guess. It builds character. You know, sometimes you got to get your ego bruised. I know I need to be taken down a notch sometimes. It's definitely good for me. I need to be humbled or put in a corner and put in timeout sometimes. It's good for me, but it sucks and I don't like it, and stop doing it. I wish men would treat me nicer. Okay, guys, speaking of horrible dates and my horrible dating life and this shitty situation, you know, that is dating in New York, let's talk about you guys for a little bit, and let's do Am I the Asshole? Because some of you guys can be assholes too. And honestly, thank fucking God, because it makes me feel so much better. You know, misery loves a little company sometimes. It's nice to know we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same ship. We're in this together as a shared experience. So let me read a couple of things. You guys submitted some situations, and I will, you know, debate whether you guys are the asshole or not. And I'll be fucking honest about it too. Okay. This first person says, am I the asshole for dropping a friend who never put any effort into our friendship? No, you're a fucking person with a beating heart. Why would you put any energy into something where you're not getting anything back? That's a one-way street, babe. Friendships are a two-way street. Relationships are a two-way street. You should be getting what you're giving, like, always in life, or there else there's like no fucking point. This person seems like a bad friend, and you're gonna realize as you get older, your circle is gonna get extremely small. you should only have one. My dad always says this. You should only have 1 to 3 friends where you could call up at 2 a.m. and say, my car broke down. I'm on the side of the road. I need you to come pick me up. No questions asked. And they would get in their car and do it for you. There's only going to be a few people in your life that are going to do that for you. And you're going to find those friends as you get older. The trash is going to take itself out. We got to trim the extra fat. Okay? We don't need any bad relationships or friendships in 2025. And you should know your worth. You should know what you give as a friend. And if you're not getting that back, then tell them to go fuck themselves and shove a pole up their ass. Respectfully and kindly and gracefully with lube. Okay? So I think you're not the asshole. I think you're a fucking queen for that. I've dropped so many friends that didn't put the effort in. I'm sure friends have dropped me too. Down the road, sometimes you just grow apart. And that's okay too. Sometimes your interest in your lifestyles will just take you in different directions. And that doesn't always have to be like a bad thing. It doesn't always have to be a harsh breakup split. Sometimes you just go in different directions, and that is life. That's what life will do to you. I've definitely experienced that too, but no, I would not say you are the asshole at all. And don't be too hard on yourself about situations like that. Okay, this next person says, am I the asshole because I told my girlfriend she made a mistake marrying her man and we were at her wedding? No. This is something I would so do. I would be like, how can I make this wedding about me? Like, this is something I would do too. Maybe we're both assholes for doing this. But maybe I would have, in hindsight's always 2020. Maybe I would have had this conversation with her before. But ultimately, when it comes to like your girlfriend's relationships, you can give them as much advice that you possibly have, but like they're the ones that are gonna have to live with it. They can take all your advice and probably like do nothing with it. That's their life, that's their journey. And if there's something wrong with this man, I promise you she's gonna find out herself eventually one day, whether you flag that or not. So no, I don't think you're the asshole. Doing it on her wedding day is kind of insane, kind of a baller move. Definitely something I would do. But no, I don't think you're an asshole. You're just being you're trying to be a good friend. And she'll appreciate that. Maybe not in that moment in her white dress, but I think down the road, she'll give you a pat on the back for that. I'm trying to think like if I've ever disliked one of my friends' boyfriends or husbands. People that they're in relationships, like my close friends, like I'm trying to think like my friend Lauren, like I love her boyfriend so much. I feel like they suit each other so well. But I remember in the beginning when he was kind of like being a fuckboy to her, I was like, ugh, this guy sucks. And also selfishly, when my friends get into relationships, I'm like, ugh, like who am I gonna have fun with? Like no one wants to go out with me anymore. Everyone's like happy. Like, can someone be like sad and go out with me and like take tequila shots with me? Like, I kind of feel like I'm losing a friend to a man whenever my friends get in relationships. But I try to think, do I hate this man or do I just want my fun friend, my single friend? But then like, if I look at the glass half full, I'm like, well, at least there's like another hot bitch I don't have to worry about. She's taken. So maybe there's more men for me. But that's just like being positive, trying to look at the situation positively. But I've definitely hated some of my friends' situationships, but like in those situations, the trash has taken itself out. There's not much I had to say, but my friends that have serious boyfriends right now, I gotta say, maybe I'm lucky. I like all of them. And, but I've definitely had friends with situationships where I want to kick them in the fucking balls and shove my fist into their ass and then rip out their guts and then show them their guts and be like, look at this beating heart of yours that's in my hand. I never had to do that, but I've wanted to. I've thought about it. Anyways, next question. This girl goes, am I the asshole because I am not going to a new friend's wedding and going on a reunion trip with my college friends instead? No. They were your friends first. I think weddings, oh my God, there's so many fucking weddings right now. And I don't have a boyfriend. I don't want to go to a wedding alone and like celebrate someone else's love. No offense, unless they're like a family member or a best friend. I just kind of get like sad at them when I go and I'm like, oh, damn, she looks happy. She looks really happy. I get like kind of like negative at them. But no, I would probably do the reunion trip with my college friends too. Those are your bitches. Those are the girls you were shaking ass with back in the day. Those are the girls you were drinking Pink Whitney with in Cabo circa 2012. Like, those are your real fucking bitches. Go on that reunion trip. Shake some ass with your real friends. A new friend, they'll understand too. If you say no to that wedding, they should be able to understand why you're saying no to that wedding. As long as you have like a concrete reason, I would say a reunion trip with your friends is a very concrete reason to skip a new friend's wedding. And I will die on that hill. Okay? Okay? I feel like there's ways to like remedy the situation. I would still, like send a gift, maybe write a card, maybe like get a couple dinners with that new friend just to like, fluff her up a little bit. And then say, you know what, I can't make it to the wedding, but like I sent you a really nice gift. You can't be mad at me. So as long as you like check all those boxes and do all those things, I feel like you're absolutely in the clear and that you shouldn't feel bad about that at all. I don't think you're the asshole at all. Am I the asshole because I tell every person I meet that their ex is gay because he wouldn't come from sex? Yeah, I think all my exes are gay. Like literally if a guy like rejects me, I'm like, oh, he's definitely gay. Like sit up the ass. It's not a me problem. They're just gay. Is that okay to say? Am I going to get in trouble for saying that? I don't even fucking care. Like, I just think everyone's gay. If they're not coming from sex, either they have ED, erectile dysfunction, or they're thinking about Joe Schmo from the Equinox locker room. Okay? I don't think there's any in between. I don't think it's anything you're doing wrong unless you have like a Venus flytrap pussy that's biting it or something. But I don't think that's a you problem, babe. Guys should be able to come so easily. If a guy can't come from sex, we got to go to the doctor. There needs to be a doctor visit ASAP. Unless they have coke dick. I mean, I ran into that problem, but usually when you have coke dick, you can't even like get hard. It's like fitting a slinky into a fucking hole. It's not enjoyable for anyone. It's like a Rubik's Cube you cannot solve, and it's frustrating. But, that is hooking up with frat boys in college. That was like my whole college experience. You just bunch of coke dick left and right. Actually, it's been my post-college experience too. Cocaine's quite the drug, but, Okay, this person asks, am I the asshole for ending up with a guy a friend had a situationship with? Yeah, you are an asshole, actually. I still love you, and thank you for writing in. But as we all know, situationships and the ending of them for any bitch, they hurt harder and stronger than the ending of even the longest of relationships. The key word in this is situationships. If you had even said relationship, I would even been like, but like situationship, that is gutting and kind of rude and cruel. I mean, how close are you with this friend? I need more context. How close are you with this friend? How long was the situationship? What is your definition of a situationship? Mine is gaslighting, like the back and forth. Does he like me? Oh my God, he's coming over. Oh my God, he's not replying to me. Oh my God, I'm posting stories for him. Oh my God, is he viewing my story? Oh my God, he's like, I'm only looking to see if he viewed my story. It's like a whole fucking clusterfuck of emotions that go from really high highs to really low lows. And you're just venting about it to all your bitches and all your girlfriends. And if you were one of those bitches that your friend was venting to about this situationship, then I would say, yeah, you're 110% an asshole. I don't think I would do that. I don't even think I would get into a situationship with my enemies. It's just like one of those things where you just don't do. There's so much dick in the world. I'm looking at all the cameras. There is so much dick everywhere. I promise you, there will be another man that will please you, that will make you finish, than your friend's ex situationship. Period. Let's do another one. That one made me upset. Am I the asshole because I left my 3.5-year relationship for the guy I told him to not worry about? I mean, like, not really. I mean, honestly, I feel like in situations like that, you're doing them a favor. If it wasn't the guy that you told him not to worry about, it was going to be another guy, because obviously you had wandering eyes. So I think in the long run, you're doing that person a favor. Are you the asshole? He's going to probably say you are. He's going to tell all your friends and his mom and his sisters that you are a major asshole. But look at it this way. You did him a favor. And now he can go off and not please other ladies, and you can go off with the new man that, you know, seems to be cutting it. He wasn't cutting it. And if he's not cutting it, life is too short. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Seize the dick. Okay? We're not getting any younger. We're not getting, you know, we're not going to be this hot in 20 years. We got to figure it out. Get laid, get that man, get him now. And the guy will get over it. You know, he'll be fine. I don't think you're an asshole for that. I think that is a super relatable experience. I feel like it's always the guy they tell, like, you know, it's always the person you tell him not to worry about. But he probably put that idea in your head anyways. He was like, do I have to worry about this guy? And you were like, no. But then you were like, wait, should he though? And then like, so blame him. It's his fault. This person was over the relationship. And if you're even having conversations where like, they're like, should I be worried about this guy? You guys aren't in a good relationship. There's something that's already missing. Should I have to worry about another person would never be a conversation in a healthy and stable relationship. That just like wouldn't come up at all. You'd be like, that thought would not enter your mind or his mind. So I'll say it again. Like if it wasn't the guy he was like, should I worry about it? It would be a different guy. So I think that relationship was already over in her head at least. Am I the asshole for crushing on my failed situationship's roommate that I have more chemistry with? Situationship is a friend of mine, and so is his roommate. No. It depends how long the situationship with. And honestly, if you're feeling, go off who you have the most chemistry with. I don't think you're the asshole at all. I think you should just like tell the other guy to kick rocks and say, hey, you weren't cutting it. And like if the roommate's also giving you that same attention, that same vibe, and the chemistry is there, then I would explore that, because, you know, the other relationship or situationship didn't work out. So why stop yourself from exploring something that would? Maybe it's fate. Maybe the stars were aligned. Maybe you were put in the other situationship's life to meet the roommate. And that's how it's just supposed to happen. You can't control these things. You didn't pair them together as roommates. Things just happen. He can move out. I suggest he move out. I think he should move in with you. No, I don't think you're the asshole at all. I think, like, you know, chemistry is a strong thing. It's a powerful thing. But I don't think you should deny feelings or exploring something just because of a 1 month, you know, fling bender. Like it's a blip in the time-space continuum. It doesn't really count. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things. So I say go for it. I would go for the roommate. I've gone for the roommate before. You know, I once was hooking up with 2 roommates, and they didn't know about it. And they were also on the same lacrosse team. And that was bad. They found out eventually. But that was my freshman year. I feel like, oh, that was the good old days. I used to love lacrosse boys so much. Like, I couldn't stop myself from having chemistry with anyone on the lacrosse team. I was having chemistry with everyone in Sigma Chi and everyone on the lacrosse team. It was a fucking issue. But no, I think yes, period. Go for the roommate, period. And if it doesn't work out, we'll find a new building. We'll find a new pair of roommates. So some people have been DMing me about sex. And I love talking about sex, guys. I feel like I need to talk about it more on here. And they've been just asking me, like, what do I do if I'm hooking up with someone and the sex just, like, isn't getting better? And I think about this a lot because I always give guys 3 times to really, like, figure out if they're good in bed or not. I know when I first hook up with someone, I'm not, like, eating their ass the first time and pulling out my craziest fucking tricks. The only thing I make sure I'm extremely good and really, really show up for is sucking dick. The first time I hook up with someone, I make sure that blowjob is Michelin star. I make sure I pull at all the stops. It's almost like, I call it like pick me head. Like it's the most pick me head ever because it's like, it's full service, 5 stars, Michelin star, gorgeous, flawless, sloppiest, no teeth head you'll ever see in your whole entire life. I think that if you do that, a guy will always come back because they'll be like, wow, that bitch was really good at head. And at the end of the day, guys just want their dick sucked. They really do. That's all they care about is getting a fucking blowjob. I swear, if you can master a good blowjob, your life will be a tiny bit easier, okay? I know it's a lot of work, and they don't call it a job for nothing, and you might need to stretch your neck, you might get some whiplash, but at the end of the day, if you can master a fucking good blowjob, he will text you eventually. Whether it's a booty call or whatever, but I promise you, he's gonna hit you up again. That's never steered me wrong. But yeah, I would give it 3 tries because I feel like on the 3rd try with someone, you can finally like build the courage to be a bit more communicative. Like you can communicate what you like. They are communicating what they like. You can just tell based off like their body language and the way they're lifting their hips and flipping you up upside down and swinging on the chandelier. You can just tell like what they're into. And then once you know what they're into and once they know what you're into, you can like lean into that instead of doing like all that extra shit that like no one cares about. Like I know for me, like when a guy tries to impress me with like too many moves, like I don't feel like you really need that many moves. Is that crazy to say? Like I feel like either I'm starting in missionary or in cowgirl and like I'm having a great time and then I'm finishing in doggy strong and I feel like other than that, like I don't need anything like sex can be really good in just those 3 positions. Have some good head in between that and like get like maybe change of scenery, maybe go on the kitchen counter, maybe go in the shower. But other than that, you don't need to make it too complicated. I feel like the more complicated you make it, the first time you're having sex with someone, like you're going to like miss important cues. Like listen to their body, listen to like, just like listen to those cues and like those physical cues and see what they like. But yeah, I'm giving guys 3 tries. If by the 3rd time you still think he's like kind of if in bed and like not matching your freak, or he's like too freaky for you. Not everyone's a fucking crazy freak like me. Like for me personally, like I love like rough sex, talkative. I just like love getting my absolute shit rocked, but like that's like a me problem. Not everyone likes that. Some people like, the more intimate, romantic, love-making stuff. So that like if you're not like a physical match in that way, then you're gonna know right off the bat. But yeah, I would give them at least 3 tries. If you think, for me, I try to give them 3 tries to see if they're boring in bed. I typically can tell off the first try if they're like gonna be a little bit of a freak or not. But you never know. I never know how much of a freak they are until like they vocalize it really to like what they like. Like a guy's not gonna be like eat my ass in the first hookup, and if they do, I don't know how to feel about that. If on the first time they were like eat my ass bitch, I'd be like, wait, what? Who are you? I barely know you. We just had dinner. But yeah, also like, are they giving you head? That says a lot about a person. Is he going down on you? That shows like philanthropy. Is he a philanthropist? Is he generous? As a person, is he giving back to the community? Okay? You can tell a lot about a guy if he's going down on you or not. Like, is he a giver? Is he selfish? Does he just want his nut? Does he want you to finish? You can tell a lot about a person's character based off of these first 3 times you're having sex with them. So I would say give it 3 tries. And if by the 3rd you're still questioning it, he's not going to fix. It's not going to fix. I don't believe in like, oh, you really have to train a guy to like be good at fucking. Like, no, like I really don't. Like, I don't have the time and energy to fucking teach a guy how to do fucking shit. Like, I'm not teaching anyone how to like find my clit at the age of 27. That's fucking insane to me. Maybe that's like okay to do when you're like in high school and college. Like guys are still learning, But I still find at the age of 27 that guys are still learning, and I just don't care. Like, it gives me the ick when I have to like tell a guy like, this is what you should be doing. Like, I don't want to do that with any man. They should know already. They should know. But like, maybe if you like have the time and energy to like train a guy, that's your prerogative. But for me personally, you will not catch me trying to lead a man to my clit. That's like, leading a dog to water. I'm not gonna, no. He should know. He should know that at this time in our age. Yeah, that's why I don't go for anyone that's even a month younger than me at this point, because some of them still don't, like, they don't know what they're doing. That's why what I was saying earlier, I was like, older guys, they know what they're doing because they've had more experience. Unfortunately, they've had more experience, and I'm mad at them for that, for getting with people before me. But they still have more experience. They know what they're doing. So it's usually just easier and like better. They like have better sex lives. Oh, more things about hooking up with guys. After hookup, are we cuddling? Are we cuddling after hookups, guys? Is that a thing? Because for me, it really depends on a couple things. One, am I hammered? Because sometimes I can be like a lover when I'm hammered. I'll like get cozy right in like the little nook and like cosplay like a fucking full-blown relationship. But most of the time, I feel like cuddling is something I try to stay away from just so I can protect my own heart, my own peace. Because if I'm cuddling with a man, I'm like catching feelings. If I'm kissing them goodbye, I probably have caught feelings. Like, are we kissing like our one night stands goodbye? Is that a thing? Because I feel like you should not be doing that. And cuddling it depends on the guy, I guess. But like, I don't really like to cuddle in general. I'm a very physical touch person, foreplay. But like after, it's like I get post-nut clarity, and I'm like, I don't really want to be touched right now at all. Like, you're sweaty and gross. I'm sweaty and gross. Like, shower, and I'm gonna shower. Maybe we can shower together, and then maybe we can like revisit the cuddling situation. But I mean, it depends. Maybe after the third hookup, maybe I'm cuddling if I like the guy. If I'm hooking up with someone, like, after the third time, unless, like, they're just, like, a blatant booty call, I'm probably developing some sort of feelings. Probably. After 3 times, yeah. Okay, guys, that is all for this solo episode this week. I had so much fun. I always love doing these solos. I love hearing what you guys have to say, your input, your questions. So DM me if you want me to cover any topics. I promise I will get to every single topic, because you're not getting rid of me. You're not getting rid of this podcast anytime soon. I'm here to stay. So anything you like have a question on or want my opinion on, anything, please write in to Extra Dirty or DM me personally. I try to look at all my DMs. But other than that, thank you all for tuning in this week. I will be available to watch on YouTube as always, and to listen on every other platform. I fucking love you, you weird freaks. And yeah, goodbye.